And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the Eden Prairie Community Center. High school hockey live at the mnhockey.tv. Along with Bart Archer, I'm Pete Wagner. Our producer, Matt Harrington, has everything dialed up for us. We'll have great replays, graphics, and more. And, of course, the best cameraman in the business, Todd Grover, pulling the trigger for us here, as always, as he listens to his Rush Memorial tribute to the great late Neil Peart. What did you say? My emotional one?
I said your emotional flag is at half-mast.
It is. Being a drummer, having grown up with that in my life, pretty tough one to take.
Yeah, you're the first one I thought of when I saw the news, and my heart sank.
Everybody's saying.
Well, I've been following that band for about 45 years or so.
His playing, his writing, his lyricism, all in my soul. But we're here for high school hockey.
Well, he raised the bar on everybody else. We shall move on.
I had to make a mention of that very special artist and musician. So thanks for joining us here tonight. Cloquet-Esko-Carlton enters into this contest. Another roadie for them as they take on what were formerly the number one ranked Eden Prairie Eagles, who have been through a long line of teams that have experienced that honor bestowed upon them, that have only seen it go away with some big-time losses. For Cloquet-Esko-Carlton, they enter this game 8-5-1 on the season. Eden Prairie 9-2-1. And when you dig deeper into the schedules, you look at what the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks have done of late, Bart. And they've had some really, really nice wins. A big shutout over Duluth Marshall by a score of 8-0. Beat a very solid Academy of Holy Angels team 3-2. They fell to Egan by a score of 3-2, but then came back before that and beat Centennial by a score of 4-3.
And that was overtime as well.
They've had some close games. Blaine with a 5-3 loss. They lost to Eastview 3-2 and Hill Murray 6-1. So they've been here and there with their wins and losses, and they should prove to have themselves a very strong contest here tonight.
Well, they certainly have some players that can put the puck in the net, and it starts with Christian Galatz. 19 goals to date on the season, but he's also has some pretty good support. But Pete, they're 3-0 in overtime games, so when it comes to big games, they have players that can rise up and savor the moment and get success out of it. But it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for this Eden Prairie team. Now, Eden Prairie, as you said, has hit some rough spots, but they'll be just fine. Eden Prairie's just going through some peaks and valleys. It's just a bit of a valley, but they're looking to build their way out of it.
Eagles stumble at the Hockey for Life, of course, at the Dakota Ice Center. 3-2 loss to Moorhead, a very good hockey club. 5-3 to Prior Lake. And then they come back a week ago with an 8-0 win over Buffalo. So they sit at 9-2-1. Power plays are just both in the 20% range. Bart, Eagles with one win. Jacks with 2 wins in a row, and their goal differentials each with pluses for Cloquet-Esko-Carlton plus 15, Eden Prairie an impressive plus 53.
Well, one thing that I think Cloquet-Esko-Carlton really has to focus on is staying out of the penalty box tonight. Their penalty kills in the mid-70s, about 75% against Eden Prairie with all their finishers. They want to play the game the right way and stay out of that box, play 5-on-5.
We're going through your starting lineups as it'll be time to face off this puck here shortly from the community center. We're going to be back on the air live again here from this same spot, the same perch, where it will be the Duluth East Greyhounds, our second week in a row with the Hounds on a Saturday afternoon matinee tilt. Looking forward to seeing them against another late conference school. Tonight we're going to take care of business with the Jacks and the Eagles coming up right after your national anthem. Starting goal for the Eden Prairie Eagles will be Eli Andrews. He's 3-1 on the season, Bart, and he has a 1.0 goals against average, .927 save percentage. To go along with 2 shutouts. On the other side of the coin, it's going to be the workhorse, Owen Carlson. 6-3-1 on the campaign with a 2.25 and a .916 save percentage. And he has 3 shutouts to his credit as well.
Well, this Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjack team can play this game, and they have moments where they're actually close to brilliant, and they have other moments where they struggle. It's just Minnesota High School, the peaks and the valleys of a season. But Eden Prairie eager at home to put a good showing in front of their fans. Coming off an 8-0 win over Buffalo, sometimes you can lose your kind of your structure, and everybody gets a little individual. I don't think that's going to happen with the Eagles tonight.
Absent from the Eagles lineup here tonight is going to be Carter Batchelder, who's out with an injury, and they'll have to pick up the slack there, and they will start things off up front with John Middlestat, Ben Steves, and Drew Holt. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin for the Lumberjacks, it's going to be Galatz on the left wing, Moore at center, and then they'll have Ketela on the right wing side, as Steves will play that back for Langenbrunner, facing his ex-mates for the first time this year. Steves back up through, or Holt rather, back up through center ice, as that's knocked off the stick of Galatz. The Lumberjacks will control in their familiar purple, gold, and white trim sweaters, heading from left to right across your screen. Langfels plays back up to the neutral for Holt, as he'll play in front of the bench area. Steves, or John Middlestat rather, checked on the play, and back in behind the net it goes. Long pass, Ketela is there to backhand that one behind the net. Andrews will set up. Now Langenbrunner takes over, as he's going to take this one right up the middle as he surveys head up along the way. He'll go for entry on his own, cut against the grain, run out of real estate, gather it in, and play this one back behind. Now the defense will take this one with Caden Crane. He's going to be cut off by Pergandy. Now it's played back down by Luloff, who is checked, and it's pushed to center by Dushkin. Now it's going to be played to the neutral zone, knocked off the boards by Durand. Now handled by the Eagles, that's Busby. Turnover at the line, and that one's just offside as it's steered up out of play by Andrews for good measure.
Well, we're early in this first period. Thank you for joining us. Should be a really nice game, Pete, but the jerseys for Cloquet-Esko-Carlton looks like the Triple Crown line with Simmer Taylor and Marcel Dion.
How good is that?
For those that, not everybody's going to know who I'm referring to.
How about the man Foxy, Jim Fox, patrolling the blue line?
Oh, there you go.
I think he was sweater number 2. One of the better color men in the business.
And Rogie Bichon in goal.
Oh, Rogatine.
Ooh, that's
Brown through center. Jacks wanted the offside call. They're not going to get it. It's played to the near boards for House. Now picked up out of the zone. Looking to dangle was Crane as he plays that one ahead. It's going to be Timon on the forecheck. That one misses the mark. The oncoming Cedar was there. Now it's going to be Brown with it across center. Here's Brown as he's going to slice his way through traffic as the puck trickles in on Carlson. He'll hang on, and the faceoff comes up inside the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton zone.
Well, Brown had some good speed coming through the neutral zone, but Jorgensen kind of closed the space out of it and really limited his options, still pushed the puck forward, but the puck stayed out of the net, so faceoff to the right of Owen Carlson.
Bumped off the board. Steves gloves it down. Now the Lumberjacks control to the left wing side. Galatz is there as he'll race across the line. He's going to be poke checked. Nice defensive play by Jake Casey of the Eagles. And up to the right wing. Nice pick up there by Steves as he faced the pass. Cuts to the forehand. That's what he's dangerous. Nice save there. Carlson marked the tape, throws the pad out, and makes a beauty. Now it's going to be Middlestat with it, back in behind. Luke Middlestat, the defenseman, puts on the brakes as he's going to be watched by Ketela. They're going to go with a 1-2-2. We saw a 1-1-1-2 by the Hounds against the Skippers the other day. I've never seen that before. Told Mike Randolph, I said, I don't know if I was more into the fact that I saw it or more bummed out that I never thought of that. It was brilliant.
Or
the
both.
Angles were perfect. John Middlestat now on the forecheck. Steves, he can shoot it, and flaring the glove is Carlson to pull that one out of the air. Let's take a look first at that first save that he made. Watch his pad save, Art Archer.
Well, and there you see Steve's kind of working his way. Look at where the rebound is, but again, Cloquet quick to get possession and knock it off the boards and get it out of danger. Eden Prairie with a couple pretty good looks so far early in this first period.
Really nice job by Steves to not let the defenseman stick get in his way as he played it through and kind of hopped through it some way, somehow, got it to the forehand in one motion, and then while he got it to the forehand was shooting the puck. For him, that's what he does so well, is he shoots the puck from all angles and you don't see it coming off the stick. I think he's the best shooter I've seen in high school hockey.
Well,
so
he's certainly in the he's certainly in the conversation, but he has the confidence to be able to pull off that play. But very athletic to make that play happen. But it was a good save by Carlson and good support by the Lumberjacks in a moment of duress.
Quite the statement by yours truly. Now Langenbrunner plays this off the boards. That's cut off by Dushkin as he's going to be checked by Pergandy. Now Finola is there as he turns and puts on the brakes. Watched by Luloff. Pergandy now with it. Shepard joins them up front. There's a shot. They score! Langenbrunner with the rocket from the right point. Works its way through, and it's 1-0 Eagles.
Well, I think obviously it was Langenbrunner that took the shot, but I don't know if it was Pergandy that changed the direction on that, but it did fool Carlson. He was in pretty good position, but we'll wait for the official scoring.
22.
So it was Pergandy from Langenbrunner, but 1-0 Eden Prairie, 13:46 left in the first period, but Eden Prairie's on the board.
You know, the beauty of that was how it was set up. It was just laid in there perfect for the defenseman, Langenbrunner, to lean into that thing and absolutely put a missile toward the net. Love these nets at Eden Prairie, Bart Archer. They're wound a little extra tight. They're showtime like old school NHL. In and out of there in a hurry.
Yeah, I was going to say, it didn't take long.
Big check thrown in front of the bench area there. That one was by Huda. Got the bench all up. Excited about that as the Jacks control in their own zone now, trailing 1-0 here with 13:19 to go in the first. Back at center ice, it's going to be the big fella Brown. Wrister steered out of there by Carlson.
That's a pretty good save right there.
Don't underestimate that. Now it's going to be reached back for Baker to center. Stansberry is there as he's going to tuck that back into Cloquet territory. Finola is there as he's going to ring it around the boards through center. Andrews will watch this one sail wide of his net. And we'll bring it back down into Cloquet-Esko-Carlton territory.
Well, I think the important part of that was Owen Carlson, goaltender for the Lumberjacks, got a chance to feel the puck after that and actually make a pretty good save. His body language says that he didn't waver after that first one, but it's always nice to make a big save on something right after that, so his confidence is right where it should be.
Langenbrunner again steers one toward the goal mouth area that Carlson knocks aside. Stansberry keeps the line. Johnson goes down on the play as it's played to center by the Jacks. That was Timon on the play. Brown gets it back. The big fella, mentioned him a few times, Bart. He's been a really solid power forward here for the Eagles all year long. Over to the right corner they go with it now. It's Cedar as he's checked by Stansberry, who pulls the luggage away and moves it out to the right wing side. Now here comes Johnson with it. At center, pickpocketed. Nice play by Timon. Down he goes as Langfels bumps off the boards. Picked up by Patton now. Plays that one rink wide for Crane. Ahead it goes. Off to stick it in deep of Anderson. Steered aside by Andrews as it's going to be Luke Middlestad outlets to Holt. He'll find John Middlestad with speed through center, but look out. Racing him down was Moore. Great back pressure there by the Jacks. From behind the net, they're going to play this one over to the left wing side. Galatz is there as he's going to be bothered by Steves. Now it's going to be taken away by Ketela. Ahead they go. They try to find Galatz with his 19 goals at center ice. Steves now gives off for John Middlestad. He has Holt open. Holt shoots. He scores! Oh, he used a perfect decoy, and Holt got the goaltender to freeze. Beat him to the glove hand side. It's 2-0 Eden Prairie.
9-6-24.
9-6-24. You heard that, folks. That was Steves that actually made that play just shy of the blue line. He knew he was going to take a hit, but just chipped the puck up to Middlestad in full stride. Middlestad gained the zone, top of the right circle. Saw that glove side, just a little too tempting for him to pass up. But a very good shot. It might have even kissed off the post and in, but 2-0 Eden Prairie. Cloquet-Esko-Carlton is going to have to show a little pushback, show a little energy. Eden Prairie's got the mojo right now.
Putting pucks in nets have been a big challenge for a lot of teams across the board in high school hockey. And you're seeing a couple of snipe goals there, which have been fantastic for the Eagles here tonight so far. Lumberjacks will defend in their own zone as it's going to be Luloff with it. He has Pergandy with him. Luloff gives that back up. Langenbrunner was forced on the play by Dushkin. Nice play there as they play this to the right wing side for Anderson. That misses the mark. Wide it goes. Poked away there by the defense of Langenbrunner, but it's going to be handled by Duran back in behind the net. He's going to hang on to that and cycle back behind for his forward Timon. Now it's going to be picked up by Dushkin as he's going to be bothered on the play by Pergandy. The 3-on-3 game down low. Stick save Andrews over to the far side. Off the glass and out of the zone will be enough for an icing as it rattles into the Jack zone. It is. And we'll bring it back into Eden Prairie territory with 10:42 to go here in the first period.
Well, really some good work by the Lumberjacks. Had some offensive zone time, put a shot on goal against Eli Andrews. You know, it wasn't too threatening, but at least they're getting some offensive zone time. Now they have an offensive zone faceoff. As you can see, 10:42 left in this first period. It's been pretty much all Eden Prairie to point. But it all starts in the faceoff dot for possession. And this is a good opportunity for Cloquet to put some pressure on Eden Prairie.
Couple of 9s in the circle. Now it's a 9 and an 8. Moore and Holt. Galatz, the quick shot. Ooh, he took Andrews by surprise there as he looked one way and had found its way right into the midsection as he hangs on. We'll reset. Bart, nice foreshadowing by you. Take a look at this one on replay.
Well, good position on that save. I'm not sure he saw it, but he was in a good position to actually make that save. But that puck came at him in kind of a weird cadence as well. So, you know, not to be undersold, Eli Andrews made a pretty good save on a pretty tough shot.
Puck was knocked back through center by the Eagles off that ensuing face-off. They control in the offensive zone now with Holt. That's cut off by the defense. They play it over the near boards. Turning away from trouble is Ketela. And now they'll play this one back in behind. If you're a girls high school hockey fan tomorrow, we got a dandy. Number 1 ranked Edina taking on number 3 ranked, or are they number 2, Matty? I can't remember 2. Number 3 ranked Minnetonka. That's a 2 o'clock matinee affair. Benel St. Margaret's girls are going to be in action. Then Duluth East and these Eden Prairie Eagles all going on at the same time during the Vikes.
Of course.
Pad save made by Carlson. But you know what the truth is? High school hockey fans are a little bit of a different breed. We know they'll be there. There's a wrister, blocker, pad save. Carlson, that came in quickly, and he threw that out there and saw it. Tracked that puck very well, Bart. That
was a really nice save. And it didn't hit his blocker. I think it hit him either the elbow or the bicep on that one, but good, quick reactions by Owen Carlson. But it was a good shot. It had some velocity on it from the right side. But Eden Prairie seems to try to take this back when Cloquet showed some energy. Now it's Eden Prairie kind of flexing their muscles.
Push back in behind the net. Eagles forecheck. Pinned up by Anderson of the Jacks. He'll play it along the right wing for House. Picked off Brown to the backhand, knocked off his stick by the defense of Okus. And now it's behind again. Anderson up to the right wing for House. Looks to play to center, gets it there. Stansberry knocks that away from time, and as Brown will try to work through the defense as he's stopped in his tracks, but it's going to be gathered in deep. That's by Oliver Jorgensen. He's on the puck now. Stood up on the play. Jorgensen keeps the feet moving. Now Brown guides that along down low. Tyler Johnson's shot misses the mark. And that's off Jorgensen again. That misses the stick. Will it be enough for an icing call? And I guess it is.
Well, Riku Brown showed some skill and showed some strength as well. Drew 2 Cloquet-Esko-Carlton defenders in and really freed up Oliver Jorgensen to pick up possession of the puck. But then that's when the Lumberjacks kind of tightened up on defense, but iced the puck down to relieve a little pressure.
Busby checked on the play. Nice transition there. Dushkin through center to the right wing side for Durant. Busby is there, too far for Shepard, and played back in. That one's up. Out of play. Patton on that one for the Jacks. Facing off at center is where we'll go with this one.
Well, as Logan Dushkin trying to get out of the offensive zone, but when they dumped it in, it went off him, so they had to call it. But center ice face-off, 8:23 left. Eden Prairie up by 2.
Jacks will control over to the near boards. Patton plays this over to the left side. Finola plays that one ahead. Back in behind now. It's Busby with it for the Eagles. Plays this one ahead for Pergandy for the Eagles. He had Luloff with him. Luloff's shot was deflected. Nice busy stick there by Finola. And that one's played back into the Eagle zone. This one will not make it for an icing call as they'll get a partial change to the Jacks. Busby out of the zone. Finds John Middlestat with some real estate. His shot is deflected off the stick of Patton. And the Jacks outlet to the left wing side for Galatz as he races up. Boy, can he scoot. Back in across the line. He's checked on the play. Back in behind it goes. Ketela is there. They try to force this one through on Andrews, and sticks fly in front.
It just shows they care about what's going on. But Galatz, as you said, has terrific speed on that, but he has a nose for the net, and he can score some big goals. 19 goals on the season, 5 on the power play, but 5 game-winning goals for that young man. He has a nose for the net, and he went after Eli Andrews, and that's where Eden Prairie took a little exception. It was a legal play. It was at the whistle, so we do play on.
Go hard to that net. Good things are going to happen for you young kids at home, of course.
Well,
right?
They're not going to happen if you don't.
Steve Stone
so.
pays a visit for you young kids at home. Had to throw that one in there, the token won a game.
A lesson for you youngsters.
Moore will face off against John Middlestat with Luke Middlestat to kiss the glass. That's knocked into the Eagles bench off the hand of Sam Baker, the junior defenseman.
Well, Baker got kind of put in a rock and a hard, between a rock and a hard place. He's on the blue line, but he had to jump up and knock that one. I think it went into the Eden Prairie bench, so hence the face-off outside.
On the Jacks, I'll take that play all day long.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, they're off to the races.
Well, you just have to make a definitive decision on that one, and he certainly did.
Pushed back into the zone by the Jacks. It's going to be Langfelds with it as he's flushed by Ketela. Nice feed by Luke Middlestad to Holt, who will fly up the right wing side. He's got Steves angling over. Steves will take over from the corner. Nice feed to John Middlestat back in behind the back net. Middlestat with it. Controls and plays back in behind for Steves. Now Steves up for Langfelds. His slap shot is blocked by Ketela. Langfelds fans on that one, but now it's going to be picked up by Luke Middlestat as he dangles through. He's going to draw a penalty there, yep, and we'll see this one coming up on replay for sure.
Well, that's what happens when you move your feet. And Eden Prairie not shy about negotiating through traffic with the puck, and really some good possession down low. I really like the exit on that one. It was Drew Holt that came out with some good speed, but then it was Steves that actually picked up the play, and Middlestat got involved as well. But nice keep into the zone, but when you make a move like that, sometimes they reach out and take a penalty. So now Eden Prairie on the power play again.
Sure was that a slash maybe, but a bit of a love tap in my book. Let's keep playing. But here
ticky.
we go. Yeah, a little ticky. Power play at 28.2 for the Eagles. PK at 74.5. A matchup that the Eagles like with the 74.5 on the Jacks penalty kill. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestat gaining real estate across the line as he looks back up high for Busby. Looked over to John Middlestat. Now he goes there. John Middlestat will play this one down as Luke Middlestat retreats up high. Knocked away from Busby by Galatz because that's played up high in the air. On the length of the ice it goes. Luke Middlestat now gives over. Busby for Middlestat again as he's watched on the play by Moore. Busby across the line. Steves with it. Back down for Middlestat as he's bothered on the play. Jam, nice play by Anderson to take away the angle in the lane. Back behind for John Middlestat. Anderson is there again. Throwing the leather. Steves looks up high for Langenbrunner. Chips that down to Middlestat. Steves holds on to it. Now over for John Middlestat. Langenbrunner will hang on to it as well. Now he lets a very Ryan Suter-like snapper through. Now it's back over to the near side for Langfelds. Back up for Langenbrunner. The right-hand shot blocked by Moore. There's a wrister that hits Shepard on the way in. Shepard looked to come out of the pile with it. Now it's going to be Langenbrunner rather. His shot's deflected in on goal. Carlson covers behind him. It's still loose. Brown is there. Still loose. They shoot. Oh, and that hits the man in front. That was Finola. That was destined to hit the back of the net. Instead, it was kept out. That by the Lumberjacks. Now Holt puts on the brakes. Leaves that up for Langenbrunner. Down to 1 second on the power play. Lumberjacks kill it off as it's going to be behind the net. They look out front. Brown is there, and Carlson shuts the door off the Langenbrunner feed. Lots going on there.
Yeah, that was a really good kill by the Lumberjacks. They really limited the opportunities, and every time Eden Prairie was going to square up for a shot, there was a Lumberjack in their way. So really a nice kill on that one. And then toward the end, it was Riku Brown, a little redirect, very shallow. But that's Finola that actually made that save. Look where the rebound went, too. Nice job, young man.
That was Langfelds down low on that opportunity. Stansberry plays that behind for Shepard. Candy was there. Chopped at. Stansberry keeps that out of harm's way. Burgandy again, heavy center for this Eagles edition, finds Luloff. Under 5 minutes to play now at about 4:23. Casey behind the net. We'll have to chase this one. Both parties involved. Burgandy comes away with it off the carom. He'll hold it behind the net. Looks back up high. Quick shot by Casey's off traffic in front. I believe that hit Huda. Huda's a defensive warrior here for this Jacks edition.
Every time you say his name, I look for Ken Pauly in the stands. It's a joke. It's a Buddha joke.
Huda. I think it's Doug Hoda.
Oh, there you go. That's even better.
Former Hartford Whaler and teammate of Paul Ranheim.
That's even better.
Very demonstrative in his coaching right now on the bench.
Well, trying to put a little fire. I think Eden Prairie's had a pretty good showing so far. Just moving the puck into spaces. They're winning the battles to the loose puck. They're creating some spaces, but they're being contested quite ferociously by this Lumberjacks team. Now an offensive zone faceoff, just under 4 minutes. It looks like Eden Prairie's going to take a penalty, or the box door is at least open.
We'll hear it here. Let's take a listen. Now the door closes. Now the door opens. That'll be Shepard. Probably too many.
Well, those are penalties that Eden Prairie's not used to taking. They're usually very crisp on their line chases, but great opportunity for Lumberjacks to get some pressure.
Too many. Now we see that power play, 21.1% for the Lumberjacks. A 92.5 PK for the Eagles so far.
Yeah, that's been steady all year
shot
too.
Shot on goal. And once again, that's Andrews to hang on to it. You know, if you want to win a championship and you want to be in the hunt, you got to have the special teams that work for you, both sides of the puck.
Oh, absolutely. Probably more important to kill the penalties, but you still have to put the puck in the net when you get the man advantage.
Just ask the Hounds, Mike Randolph, what a good power play can do for you.
They can win you a game at Pagel is what it can do.
Getting outshot 43-7. Absolutely. 2 power play goals were the difference in that one last week. Top of the right circle. That's Galatz with it. Shifty shot saved by Andrews. Langfeld with the slapper off the boards, and that gets away from the pinching Finola.
Well, one thing I like about Galatz is he's patient. He looks for that open space, but he's got those quick feet and quick hands that he can create and get some space and get good shots on goal.
Real rounded player, no question. All aspects of the game.
Well, he's had success, and he's been a focused player when every team that's played against him, and he still gets his points and still does his thing.
Ketela goes to the near side from Crane. Now Moore gains the line as he's going to play this one down to the corner. Galatz. That gets away from the skate of Moore. There's a wrister, nice blocker pad save. Rebound fanned on there. Looking to load that up was Ketela. Off the boards in the length of the ice by Burgandy. 43 to go.
Yeah, Ketela looked to the heavens after that. It just hopped over his stick, but he had a great opportunity. He'll get more, I'm sure.
Wanted that one back.
Yeah, no mulligans in hockey, though.
Left wing on the breakout, they go with it. Dushkin with it across the line. He's going to play it in across the dasher. Perfect on the stick for Cedar. You couldn't ask for a better scenario there. But the Eagles clear, and it's back into the Jack zone. Anderson up to center. That's knocked away by Langenbrunner. Look out, here comes Johnson, get a pressure. Over to the near side it goes for Anderson. 10 to go in the power play for the Jacks as they'll work the rush across the line one last time. Knocked to center. Shepard is standing. Stick is slapping on the far end, as you can hear. And we're now at full strength with $1:55 to go here in the period. Off the glass to center. That's going to be enough for an icing call as we'll bring it all the way back into Eden Prairie zone for the faceoff.
Well, I think he sent that one a little harder than he wanted to, and I'm speaking of Casey, the defenseman. Nice to see him in there, getting some ice time, earning his coach's confidence, but faceoff's going to be all the way down into the Eden Prairie zone to Andrews' left. But under 2 minutes to go in this first period, Eden Prairie up by 2. Really, you don't need to score if you're a Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjack fan. You just need to put some pressure on, force the goaltender to make some saves, and get some positive energy going in the locker room.
Shot that was blocked by Finola. That was Brown giving him pressure, but they still get it deep. Checked on the play. That was Moore. Now Galatz, nice quick mitts there on Brown. Brown's still looking for his equipment as it's played back up high. That was impressive. Back into the Jack zone. Carlson goes back up into the center ice area, works his best stay-lock impression. Brown gets away from one man. Inside out he goes. Wants a drop pass. Look out. Here comes Langfels. Pushes it through. That's blocked. Into the net area it goes. And the net might have gotten jarred loose just a bit.
Well, on Riku Brown's big rush, I think it was Jorgensen that went to the goal like you're supposed to do. And it was either a man in the crease or the net came off its moorings. Nonetheless, faceoff's going to be to the left of Owen Carlson. Now just 1 minute and 9 seconds offensive zone faceoff. Big faceoff for the Lumberjacks. Both teams have their primaries out there, so they want to finish the period strong. I like the way that Lee Smith is just putting his ones against their ones, and just it's all about possession from that point.
Turned and played toward the slot area. Steves was there and knocked to center ice. That's off the stick of Moore, and that's going to be an icing call. As we'll bring it back down again.
Well, you just don't want to have too many faceoffs, especially to close a period in your own zone. Cloquet hasn't been shut out in the faceoff dot, but Eden Prairie's been pretty effective there, and it's going to be Middlestadt now in the faceoff circle against Timon.
Busby, Middlestadt gets the draw. They'll come away with that. Up in the air, that was brought some rain. House plays it down. Checked by Langenbrunner. Now it's Busby with it. Steves, nice deflection for Middlesex. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. Holt back and across the line. Yours truly loves that when they let the puck do the work for him.
Yep.
Trust it. Out of the left wing side, it's Anderson. Busby up high, cut off by Timon. Now Steves will race over to the near boards. Finola's there. He'll play that into Eden Prairie territory as it's Langenbrunner laying this one flat. Plays that rink wide for Busby. They're going to play this one out deep in their own zone with 5 to go. Langenbrunner takes a glance at the clock. He's going to hang on as he's flushed, and that'll do it for the period. And the Eagles come up with that 2-0 lead, Bart Archer.
Well, indeed they did. They were certainly the better team as far as possession and zone time, but don't discount this Cloquet-Esko-Carlton squad. They started to seem to get better as the period kind of went on. Stay out of the box first and foremost, but the 2 goals that were scored, one by Burgande and the other one by Middlestadt, they were good goals. No cheapies about it, but I expect this Cloquet-Esko-Carlton, now that they got the first period out of the way, they're going to come out with some focus, but we have again, I say it every time before the second period, we have the long line changes, so it's very important that both sets of defensemen on each side get off a little bit early.
The veterans will know what's going on there. Carlson's been very solid in goal so far for this Jacks team. The Eagles can shoot it. We saw that early on. We'll take a look at a highlight package before we start the second period. Until then, we'd like to remind you that tonight's coverage is presented in part by American Family Insurance, by Tradition Companies. Check them out at traditionco.com. Also by Lake House, some of the finest apartment dwelling in the city of Minneapolis. Going to be opening up in the June. Check them out at Lake House, LAKEHAUS, MPLS.com. And also by Itasca Marketing. Also, don't forget, we're going to have the Chick-fil-A Play of the Game. At the end of this one, don't forget to check out Chick-fil-A in Chanhassen. Also coverage presented by Tria and Red Savoy. Plenty of sponsors here for Eden Prairie Hockey. We love the Eagles. We love the Jacks. We love high school hockey. More comes up right after this.
Too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Looks great.
Wow. This looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. So you're an expert.
Yes.
Can you do one with my name?
Sure.
D-E-R-E-K?
D-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What's the ultimate dream for your business?
I really wish I had more bracelets to make every single day.
What do you do with the money?
We have this hunger project that I give back to the kids that don't have enough money to buy food.
So the more bracelets you make, the more money you raise, and then the more kids you can help out. How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life. Okay, now, what do you think about this?
Ooh.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
Hockey continues on the mnhockey.tv, and we're proud to bring in the man, Chad Schumacher from Tradition Wealth Management. Chad, you and I have been at this for a couple of years now, and I've been able to watch firsthand with what your organization's been able to do, not only as a wealth management firm, but what you've done in the community, and you're very engaged in it with lots of locations. So can you give us a little bit of a history lesson of where you've been and where this has gone and where it's going?
Yeah, so Tradition Wealth Management, we started in 2003 with a couple different partners that came from large institutions with a dream, and we started in a conference room with one phone between 6 employees. And now in February and Valentine's Day, we'll be 17 years old.
I'd like to have seen what that wrestling match for that one phone looked like between those employees. That must have been something else.
It was good.
So you have locations really spread throughout the Twin Cities. Can you share those locations and strategically how you landed there?
Yep. We've been in Edina since existence, and so this is where our largest operation is. And now we've recently opened up offices in Woodbury, North Oaks, downtown St. Paul by the Tria Center, and out in Wayzata.
And then in terms of employees, what kind of coverage do you have from that respect?
I think we're up to 17 employees right now. We're still looking to grow. We're trying to hire a couple of really experienced teams to help engage with clients going forward.
You guys have been very engaged in the community throughout with lots of initiatives, which has also created some great networking opportunities for those involved. And you've had a lot of things from which to be proud of. Can you touch on some of those things that you as an organization have done?
Well, obviously it starts, we just take care of people. We deliver everything from high net worth strategies all the way to starting people from our 401ks that we work with, just with basic estate planning stuff. So we're really proud with that. We do lead with the comprehensive planning. We try not to turn over all the rocks. We realize every person's has a different set of circumstances, net worths, health issues, you name it. But we try to create a private family office for people who don't have private family offices and help them with all the investment advice that we can give them.
Well, it basically answered my next question of why are you unique, and I'm sure that's pretty much the key thing, right?
Yeah. I'd say, most people hire us. When we're managing assets for people, we're normally managing all the assets that are able to be managed, and just take their unique set of circumstances and build it to the plan that makes sense for each client we deal with.
We have tons of people out there that watch these games for real, and they all have needs, and I'm sure they're going to want to be able to get a hold of you and your team somehow. I would highly recommend that. What's the best way to reach out to get a hold of you and your team here?
I'd say just call my number. I'd be glad to talk to you and get you in touch with the right person from the right office. My direct line is 952-563-6504.
Chad, thanks a lot. Let's get back at it. Some more hockey action coming up.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Let's go back to that little place where we used to go in the summer days. We dip our feet at the water's edge, and everyone would come along to meet us there. We'll have a competition to see who can chat for longer, 'cause every year my body's getting stronger. We can swim all day and dance into the night, but we're not coming home till the moonlight shines, till the moonlight shines. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's go back to that little place where we used to go in the summer days. The lodge by the water's still my favorite place, and I could come every year and it wouldn't change.
I think that being in a sport, it has built into it the concept that we are going to face a challenge. When we do sport the right way, we are teaching values. We're teaching kids how to be hard workers. We're teaching kids how to be courageous, to be fearless. Dynamites, because we have a focus on whole life youth development, physical, academic, social and spiritual excellence, we get that we're trying to develop people to be whole people. And I think that when you combine that mission with sport, I think you naturally get that. We have programs in each of those 4 areas. We have ice hockey for physical excellence. Academic excellence includes academic support like one-on-one tutoring. We have a summer academic camp. Social excellence includes our big community service project, Greg Carroll Learn to Skate, and also we're faith-based. So when kids are old enough, they have the choice to go to summer camp, kind of that traditional summer church camp. Every kid in the program has multiple mentors. If they're in tutoring, they have a very special mentor that's just their very own. And then of course the hockey coaches are mentors, and of course all the staff are mentors too. So we have a very high retention rate. Dynamite's high school graduation rate over 20 years is 85%. And over the last 5 years, 96% have graduated, which is really significant because right now Minneapolis Public Schools is reporting that their graduation rate is 53%. So that, I think, is another measure that shows that Dynamites is working. Being a faith-based organization, I think we're able to say things that are really powerful sometimes. We might say to the kids, like, we're going to do some hard things today. And we want you to remember we can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A few minutes later, we might be asking them to do that hard thing, and you got heads down and panting. And remind them, remember, you have strength. God's given you the strength to do this. You have the strength that you need inside you right now. They might even remember the moments where they began to believe that, where they began to believe, I should be fearless. Only believe, do not fear.
And the Eden Prairie Eagles lead by a score of 2-0 after 2 periods. Let's take a look at how we got there with these goals.
Well, it was Eden Prairie that had the zone along the wall. It just a little dish back, and it was Langenbrunner that walked into it. It was Pregande that redirected that one past the goaltender Carlson, give him a 1-0 lead.
I love this individual move here by Ben Steves as he
knew he was going to get
motion.
hit.
Watch
yeah,
this.
He knew he was going to get hit. Just put it out there for Johnny Middlestead. He saw that glove side under the bar. open and ready for him, and he made that one count.
That was actually a save that I was thinking of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was a 2-on-1 that, yours truly choked on. That Middlestad hung on to and used the decoy off to the right.
Well, the goal was Middlestad 9th from Steves and Langfeld. Shots on goal 13, Eden Prairie just 5 for Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. They need to build on that number, Pete.
Folks, we try to keep this as professional as possible, but let's be honest. This costs you absolutely $0 to watch.
Why, are we getting ripped or something?
No, but if we're getting ripped,
I
and then or if I got the young, what are you, 20?
You get what you pay for, right?
Are you 20? Ooh. The young 19-year-old budding announcer, Matt Harrington, if he butchers a name here or there, just lay off the guy,
right.
Okay? He costs you nothing to watch.
Right.
So if anybody's out there that does that, I take exception to that because everybody learns and gets better. So don't think you made them better. Back in, you know who you are. Langfell's with it now, back in behind the net. Now I'll get chirped. Bring it on. Sauces to the near side for Holt. Now Middlestad shot that misses the mark. That off the glass. Langfell's with it. John Middlestad, they get back in behind the net. Holt with it. Takes control up to Luke Middlestad. This is 5-on-5, folks. That one misses the mark. Now Langfell's shot's deflected. Steves lays that one. Now it's going to be Anderson. And that's gathered in off the right side by Moore, who looks ahead to Galatz, try to create across the line. John Middlestad hard to center. Here comes a foot race for the loose puck. Holt can fly, but Carlson plays the center.
That was a smart play.
Oh, well, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Steve plays that one back into the line. Now
here we go.
3-on-1 across the line. Galatz, he has numbers. Trailer shot, save made. That one by Andrews on the big opportunity there. The feed over to Dushkin as Galatz did a nice job to feed that one over and give him a chance to put a good one on net.
Well, he put it in a good spot for him, too, but he kind of dusted it off a little bit and allowed Andrews to sneak over, square up. Great play by Cloquet. Should give him some energy, but 3-on-1, boy, you don't get those opportunities too often against Eden Prairie.
Across the line. I think just sort of was a parting of the Red Sea, just sort of occurred. Back from the left wing side, Timon down the wall. It's controlled now by Finla, who plays that in wide of the mark. All the way back in behind, Busby looks back up ice as he'll play that one ahead. Brigandy now gains center. He's going to bump it off the boards as he's checked by House. And is Shepard to come away with this one. Back up for Langenbrunner. Now left side, Busby. That shot deflected wide off Luloff. Now it's Shepard again. Back up to the line. Nice job, Busby. Towed it, but no, he didn't. In deep it goes. They're going to change, or they're going to touch up. And Brown, he's lucky that they didn't keep that arm up in the air. Finland now to center. Watched by Brown. Langenbrunner comes away with it. It's weird watching him in the white, black, and red sweater instead of the purple.
How do you think it is for him? Right.
Now it's going to be Luloff to the right wing side. Puts on the brakes a bit. Tried to play that one through. And now they'll walk this one up for Finla. Through center it goes. Casey will work this one behind with Stansberry in front. Played that one away from Moore. Casey one-hands it. Doesn't get it there as that's off House. All the way around it goes for Tyler Johnson. Tried to guide that along, but Galatz is there. Now it's center ice. Luloff was stopped. Nice little defensive play. Anderson's been really good, the big defenseman for the Lumberjacks.
Been very effective.
Now it's going to be Johnson, who went through a pair of skates. Sent back to Moore through center. Galatz knocks that one away, gets some support up by Kettela. And now it's going to be on the stick of the Eagles, Oliver Jorgensen. Lost the handle on that one. And now it was Okus that was on the play. Now Jorgensen gets it back. Casey with it. Boy, Jorgen's out there. He's got a whole other speed limit.
Yeah, he's got cheat code speed right now.
There's a shot and a nice save. Good positional save by Carlson. I like his calm demeanor in net. He knows what he's doing. He's got great position and angles. Trusts his arms, his pads, his stick. Does it very well. Now there's a nice move around, wraparound attempt. Galatz shot, glove, save. And, Andrews has been tested twice now here in the second period. He's come up big.
And they've been some challenging saves, too, but it was Galatz with some pretty good speed coming around. Tried to stuff it short side. The rebound came back on the stick. He walked out a little bit, and it was a nice save by Eli Andrews. 13-16. Eden Prairie still up by 2, but it looks like this Cloquet team has got some fire this period.
Off the boards they go. Patton was there. Now it's Luke Middlestad taking over. On the feet across the line. Steves wanted to go high blocker, and that was a stop made by Carlson. Got a piece of it. Now Luke Middlestad with it. Plays this to the corner for Holt. Tried to guide that through, but that was off the gear of Finola. Now out of the zone they go with it. Dushkin runs into Langfels as the puck will travel through behind. Luke Middlestad looks back on the breakout, but that's going to be cut off on the forecheck by Logan Dushkin, who's bothered on the play by John Middlestad. Now it's back behind the net. Timon races this one down with Langfels turning him back into the corner. Wraparound attempt. Shot and a save again by Andrews. And to the right wing side comes Steves as he storms through center. He's going to go wide on Finola, tries to protect the puck, looks out to Holt. Holt has that roll off the stick. Now it's going to be Steves from the corner. He's checked on the play. Finola pins him up, gets a little bit of help now as that's shoveled ahead there by Timon. And on the stick of Dushkin to center, Pergandy comes away and sends that back in for the Eagles. Control behind the net by the Jacks. It's Finola. Finds his man in the corner off the boards. Patton looks ahead. That's off the stick of Dushkin and back into the Jack zone. They're going to regroup. Patton rink wide on the tape for Ketela. Runs in front of the bench area, gets it across center and deep. Now back in behind is Langenbrunner. They're going to say hand pass.
And it's going to come down into the Eden Prairie zone, so Eden Prairie guilty of the hand pass. Boy, a lot of action going on. Pretty good pace up and down the ice. Cloquet getting some opportunities, and then Eden Prairie coming back. But this is what you kind of hope for, but it is going to be a face-off to Eli Andrews left. As you can see, 11:43, Eden Prairie up by 2.
One-timer off the draw, bounding puck to the slot. Luloff protects to the right wing side. He's going to be angled on the play by Galatz. Into the gear and held on to by Anderson. Now Pergandy plays that one through the goal mouth area. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestad. Fans on that one. Moore comes away, missed Galatz on that one as Luke Middlestad will come all the way through and gather that one in. From the corner out of the zone is Langfels. Nice feet ahead for Pergandy as he gains the line. Pergandy with it now, watched on the play. Nice job to cycle out of the corner. That hit Luloff on the way through. Now Langfels slings that one back in behind. Moore is going to wait for the carom. Instead, it's going to be Galatz picked off at center by Stansberry. Look out, that's into the gear of Aaron Moore. Back up to the line. Checked on the play was Shepard. Now it's Luloff in on goal. Nice save. Holding his ground was Carlson. 10:40 to go in the second. Still 2-0 Eagles. 2 first-period goals have been the difference maker in this one. Goals by Pergandy off the redirect of the Langenbrunner blast and Middlestad on the 2-on-1.
Well, and we've been about 6.5 minutes into this period, and both goaltenders have made a couple pretty good saves, but I like the 50-50 on this one. Eden Prairie might have a bit of an advantage as far as control, but this Cloquet team has came out to compete, so they're getting their opportunities. They've challenged Eli Andrews a couple times, and Carlson, when challenged this period, has come up with the proper save.
Shot
just like that
goal.
one.
Good to hear that Mick Mars and Motley Crue make a visit here. A little wild side action for you. Most underrated rock guitarist, I think. Will you go with that or no? You're not sure?
Sure. Well, as long as you say underrated. I mean,
I said underrated.
That's what I said.
Dude made a lot of noise. That much we can say. Off the end. Timon is there. Big tour coming up in June. That's going to be a fun one. Okus with it. Plays to the near side. Def Leppard will be your best performer there. Guaranteed. Offside at the line. Bart's got his tickets already, I can tell.
No, Bart's not much of a concert goer anymore. I had my time, but...
I'm just getting started.
No, well, you should. You're young.
By the way, Rush was my very first concert. Moving Pictures, Met Center.
And I remember seeing Blue Oyster Cult, Rush, Steve Marriott's All-Stars, and another band for $4. That shows how long ago that was.
Joe Perry was the opening act.
Joe Perry Project.
Remember, let the music do the talking. Just bitter
That's
at his
he couldn't
Aerosmith
sing.
mates. Oh, is it rough? Now, actually, he's a pretty good singer.
I'm just kidding.
Over to the right wing side. His harmony's amazing.
No, I don't mind him at all.
They just lost me post 87, 88 with the ballads. Now it's going to be Holt with it, back up through center ice.
Everybody was doing ballads then.
Oh, the power ballads. Yep.
You're a big Cinderella guy, aren't you?
I do like Cinderella. Spinorama there. So does Todd Grover, your camera operator. Langenbrunner. Oh, man. Busby Now it's John Middlestat knocked away from Steves, just poking it out, exposed. That's going to be a whistle as the power play is coming up.
Well, it's going to be a slashing penalty to Cloquet. Pretty good wheels by Eli Andrews to get off the ice as quick as he could. Didn't really constitute an extra man advantage, so to speak, but gave him at least a chance if they were able to kind of maintain possession without the puck. But it's going to be Galatz is going to go, so a big bopper for this Lumberjack team in the penalty box for 2 minutes. Great opportunity. Riku Brown in the faceoff with more.
Galatz goes for interference. Second power play opportunity for the Eagles. Or check that for a slash. I won't look at producer Matt Harrington anymore. Whatever that signal was looked like interference to me. Back in behind the net it goes. Brown with it. Langfels kicks that onto his stick. Langenbrunner takes over. Push it over to the strong side here. Red played out of the zone. Holt and Dushkin will give chase. Holt just enough to get there. He's jammed, couldn't quite get the stick on that. Nice one-man wrecking crew. Oh, nice feed, a shot, and a save. Oh, and a penalty drawn there. Look at that. Dushkin does the job and was impressive.
Well, it's just a good effort by the Lumberjacks to chase that puck down. It was Holt, who knew he was going to take a hit, used his body to shield the puck, but then the puck bounced a little bit, and it was Cloquet who put it out into the open area, put a redirect back on Andrews. Nice job by the Eden Prairie goaltender to keep that out of the net, but now we're 4-on-4, a lot of space out there, at least for another minute and 22 seconds until Galatz gets back out of the ice, barring another penalty. But offensive zone faceoff for this Cloquet-Esko-Carlton squad, and they have been better in the faceoff circle. Very important one for both teams.
Timing to take the draw for the Jacks. It's going to be Steves for the Eagles. Pulled away by Langenbrunner. Don't forget we're going to have the Chick-fil-A play of the game coming up at the end of the game. We'll tweet that out for Chick-fil-A and Chanhassen, proud sponsors of this Eden Prairie Eagle edition. High off the glass. Langenbrunner. Now it's Middlestat up for Langenbrunner. Looks over for John Middlestat. Ooh, he wanted the one-timer that didn't have it. As he'll walk over to the left wing side, snaps that one off the window. Over to the near boards for Langenbrunner as he's going to lose the handle there. John Middlestat checked on the play, poked through. Kettle was there. Now it's going to be kicked away by Anderson. 43 to go in the penalty to Galatz as the 4-on-4 continues for these two additions.
Kettle got the gloves high on Luke Middlestat right in front of the referee.
Steves across the line, cuts back to the forehand. He wanted the high glove and just missed the mark. Boy, that gets there in a hurry.
Yeah, and he crossed up Finilla's feet a little bit, and he's got pretty good footwork too, so nice play.
Stansberry ahead to John Middlestat to the left wing for Steves. To the corner it goes. Baker was there, knocked off a stick high in the air. Off the right wing boards on speed. It's going to be Moore through center. Moore cuts to the forehand, steered out of there by Andrews. Now it's Luke Middlestat with tempo. Ooh, stick came up on the helmet there. We're going to have a high sticking penalty there. Might have gotten underneath the mask a little bit.
Well, I did, and I don't think he's emphasizing it either, but it was a kind of an incidental stick by Aaron Moore, one of the primaries on this Lumberjack squad, just trying to make a play, but the stick did indeed get up under Middlestat's cage.
You try to get that stick lift, and sometimes you go a little bit too much juice on that.
Well, and Middlestat doesn't look any worse for the wear, but now we're back to 4-on-4 for at least another 38 seconds.
And Matt Harrington's got to have like an engineering degree here with all of our production products here as he's got the 4-on-4, then it turns on a power play. Nice work. Back at center ice it goes for Busby. This is next level production by our director and great play-by-play guy, Matt Harrington. He'll be on the call for Edina girls, Tonka girls tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing how that one shakes down. Puck to the slot area, pushed wide of the mark. Andover, of course, losing their first game of the season. Knocked away. I'm speaking on the girls' side.
No, I know, but across the board, it's just been a really unusual season so far.
And they've been really, they and the Hornets on the girls' side have been pretty much a given.
Lights out.
Langenbrunner, they had a 1-0 game to open the season, which was just stellar. Over from the right corner, protecting the puck on the play there was Finilla. Now it's Brown fishing this one free back in behind the net. Brown looks in front. Oh, he had Luke Middlestat, who just misfired there. So now it's a minute of power play time. This is on the Moore high stick, the most recent. Langenbrunner was jammed on the boards. Slow to get up as the Jacks kick the boards, appreciating that as Langenbrunner chirping the official the whole way back, and now the Jacks bench.
Eden Prairie with 3 defensemen on the power play.
Cleared to the line off Luke Middlestad's stick as he was hit heavily on the play by Dushkin. The Jacks aren't going away here, Bart.
No.
It's 2-0 through 2. And they've cinched it in defensively. The Eagles have had some chances, but you might argue that Andrews has had to make as many saves on the other end for the Eden Prairie edition.
Well, and Carlson just made a good one right there, but it just seems like Cloquet's rolling up their sleeves, bringing a little bit of the physical element. It was Langenbrunner that took a pretty good shot along the end wall in his own zone, laid on the ground for 5 or 10 seconds, then got up and made his way off, but head on a swivel. This Cloquet team isn't messing around.
He got spun hard on a hit there.
He really did. But they're bringing up the physical game, and that's one way that you can have some effect, but you got to be really careful that you don't chase to get that physical contact. It has to be with purpose.
If you hit with authority, that's what happens. And they're doing just that. Holt plays this one down the line. Steves is there. Gets away from one would-be checker. Looks back up for Casey. Gives back over for Steves. Right circle. Guides it down for John Middlestat. Looks to the slot area. Casey with it. I saw it's almost called Jake Casey. John Casey, I'm sorry. No, not confused with the Snow Angel goaltender.
Yeah, you better apologize for that one. I'm kidding.
He got him to the cup. He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Now it's going to be John Middlestat. Shallow angle. Steves tries to push that through. Nice job by Patton. Gets the skates in the way there. House at center. John Middlestat. He's going to get hit. Now it's going to be played ahead for Holt. Nice job to reach and gather across the line as he tries to work some real estate there as he's going to be stopped. And back up the ice they go with Cedar. Here he is across center. Stansberry stands him up in the neutral zone. Now the Eagles love that one. Now Holt with it across the line. Heavy hitting affair. Steves look out. Scores! Oh, that's Ben Steves at your finest right there. You get him open to the slot. Can't lose track of number 6. It's 3-0 Eagles.
Well, and it was Drew Holt that actually gained the zone, and everybody was focusing on Middlestat going in first into the zone, but generally it's the trailer that's the most dangerous, and that was Steves, which even makes it a little bit more concerning, but he picked top corner blocker side just under the bar. 3-0. 3-0 Eden Prairie Eagles. 4:30 left in the second period. Cloquet's got to get something positive. They've been working awful hard, but they have to get down and put some pressure on Eli Andrews and at least force him to make some saves, but Eden Prairie, that's a big goal right there.
Here comes Galatz quickly off the draw, carries this one deep. Langfeld stays on him in front. Score!
That's what they needed.
Oh, the foreshadowing from Bart Archer has been right on. Seconds later, it's Ketela with his 9th of the season. That was all Galatz off the draw from the left side, just came flying through and up the wing he goes.
And that's where faceoffs are important. Possession in this game was paramount. We talked about that coming into it. But Ketela, a nice finish on that one.
To be named later. I don't know who got it.
Oh.
That would be 7. 4 on the goal, 7. And then give it to 9 on the faceoff.
And a player to be
That'll
named.
be 4 from 7 to 9. Just saying.
A little louder. I don't think he heard you. He's the only one that probably didn't.
The whole place look up here?
Right. Everybody looked at you and said thanks. But that's a big goal right there. Now it's back to a 2-shot game.
He said assist to be named later, Joe did down there. I've never heard that before.
And insert name here.
Have you ever heard refs say that
no.
to
assist or pending?
But what I loved about it is because I didn't see it.
Assist or pending.
Yeah, well, it was 9 on the draw. 7 took it clean. Fed out front. That's an easy one. What were they napping? I would hate to do that as a ref. That's brutal. Moore stood up by Middlestat, who turned it over at the line.
I think they've done a good job now.
Oh, this has been well officiated, Tilt. Letting them take the body. They've been clean on these hits. They've been heavy and hard. It's been a well-played, spirited affair here from the rec center. Shepard in across the line, gets through a slash there.
Community
Stayed on
center.
That one. Did I say rec center?
Yes,
I get
you
it
did.
mixed up with St. Louis Park.
And I wasn't saying it to show you up. I just wanted to make sure you got the proper
case.
information. But then Eden Prairie comes right back down, puts a good shot on Carlson. So they're back to business. But again, I think that Cloquet finally got rewarded for a lot of hard work. They've been working awful hard and they aren't chasing the play. They're actually in the mix, so they're just 2 good shots down, just 3:39 left.
Game too, Bart.
Indeed, they have.
That's really forced the urgency of the game, and that's kind of put the Eagles into, we better keep moving the puck, let it work for us. It's helping them too as well to a degree because it's making the game faster, no question.
Well, and I think Eden Prairie can play the physical part of the game. It's just not their strength, but they can still do it.
They've shown us all year long that they're not afraid to throw the leather, especially with their blue liners.
Oh, I think they kind of enjoy it a little bit, but they don't go out of their way to do it. They do it if it has a purpose.
Out front to Holt, nice positional save by Carlson.
Boy, this line for Eden,
down there and made the save.
This line for Eden Prairie has been awful good in IP Wagner. They put Holt on. They move Rico Brown to kind of diversify the lines. I think they just wanted the speed and the talent on this line to match against the first line from the Lumberjacks, but they've had some pretty good success and really put some pressure on this Lumberjacks, especially in their own zone. But that was a pretty good save by Carlson.
I like the fact that he was where he needed to be and he didn't bail on the post.
He's very quiet too.
Yeah, he's under control. He's a good goaltender. The senior. Stansberry looks for Jorgensen. Now it's going to be Brown through center ice. Closing on him was Huda. Now it's going to be handled by the defense of Sam Baker. Casey bounds that one wide of the mark. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the second period. Stansberry off the boards, back in behind, set up. Tap by Carlson. Really wrong hard, but not around as Brown is there to take this over. He's checked. Jorgensen back from the corner. Back in behind for Brown as he's brought down on the play by Moore. In front, that's deflected wide of the mark. One-timer taken by Langenbrunner. That's deflected wide of the mark, side of the post. Langenbrunner up high. That's blocked. Ooh, that's off the gear of Anderson. Eagles with nice shift rolling here. Steves through. Oh, Middlestat. Score! No! That one went through the goal mouth area. Trickled just wide. I thought that was going onto the white paint behind
it. Almost, it's like it rimmed the cup like in golf.
Kinda. Now there's a shot that was blocked. Durand there. Good call, Bart. Back in behind. It's going to be John Middlestat knocked away by the defense, but not out of the zone as Langenbrunner plays it back into the corner. Now it's Holt. He's going to be wedged on the play by Anderson. Down goes Holt. Puck goes with him. He's got his skate out there, trying to make the play. Now it's Steves. Look out. But that's going to be stopped by the stick of Baker. Wow, blasting out. The Jacks live another day off of that shift. Woo!
They survived that one.
There. Now Holt has Langenbrunner flowing up in the play. Holt down low. Oh, what a save by Carlton. Now it's going to be more under control with it off the boards for Galatz. A little too far. Will he race into this puck before it's icing? Oh, he almost got there. Oh, and then he got checked after the fact by Langenbrunner. Galatz says thank you very little.
Well, Galatz was the one that actually pressed him against the end wall previous, so maybe just a little bit of a payback, but a little emotion going on. But you're right, Pete. It was Cloquet that survived the first onslaught by Eden Prairie, and then Eden Prairie came right back. And I really like Holt and Steves and Middlestat. Holt and Steves really seemed to have some magic together, and it was Holt that just led Steves on that, but it was a really nice save by Owen Carlson to go over and close that door.
There. Love that spirit there between those two.
Yeah.
You know, they held back. You know, they didn't put their clubs in peril. They just made their points with each other. They had something going on there. That's fine.
Slate is clean.
Part of the game. Luke Middlestat. That one's deflected wide of the mark. We'll watch for that development throughout the night.
Ooh, nice keep by Luke Middlestat.
Plays that one back in behind. Yeah, that was subtle on the backhand, Bart. Not easy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think that story is over yet, Pete Wagner.
Watch it develop. Now off the end boards, it's going to be Finola with it. Oh, he had Galatz at center. Luke Middlestat watching him. Galatz will try to push this one into the corner. Down he goes. Now it's Langfels with it as he gets away from trouble. Ooh, that was awfully close to the blue paint. Now it's Pergandy with it. Pergandy's wrister in on the glove and held on to by Carlson. 26.4 to go in the second period. You know, we got about the midway point for a lot of these teams in the season. And we've talked a lot about identity. I did a podcast, Stars Weekly, with Patrick Griswold, the head coach here. We talked about identities, and for a lot of teams really don't have it yet. Now, It feels to me like these two teams do. They clearly know who each other are as individual clubs, and it's really nice to watch here. Pergandy off the end boards is checked. Off the glass to center. Oh, what a great bounce for House. Now there's some support along the way. It's on the stick for Cedar as it's knocked away from him by Langfeld. House plays it down the boards. Say pitch back up on that, and that does it for the period. Love this hockey game from the Eden Prairie Community Center featuring the Eagles and the Lumberjacks. It's 3-1 Eagles.
Well, from my perspective, once it got to be 3-0, I got a little worried, but it was the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks came down and actually tickled the twine and scored one against Eli Andrews. So now it's just a 2-shot game. Going into the locker room down 3 is far different than going in down 2, but some good things happened for this Lumberjack squad, so they will come out with some focus in the third period. But I thought Eden Prairie played an outstanding period, a couple breakdowns here and there, but overall, pretty solid period by both. 3-1. We start the third period in about 12 minutes.
We'll take a timeout. Our guy Matt Harrington putting together our between period festivities with these two hockey clubs in a good one. 3-1 Eagles. Hockey continues on the mnhockey.tv, and we're proud to bring in the man, Chad Schumacher from Tradition Wealth Management. Chad, you and I have been at this for a couple of years now, and I've been able to watch firsthand with what your organization's been able to do, not only as a wealth management firm, but what you've done in the community, and you're very engaged in it with lots of locations. So can you give us a little bit of a history lesson of where you've been and where this has gone and where it's going? Yeah,
so Tradition Wealth Management, we started in 2003 with a couple different partners that came from large institutions with a dream, and we started in a conference room with one phone between 6 employees. And now in February and Valentine's Day, we'll be 17 years old.
I'd like to have seen what that wrestling match for that one phone looked like between those employees. That must have been something else.
It was good.
So you have locations really spread throughout the Twin Cities. Can you share those locations and strategically how you landed there?
Yep. We've been in Edina since existence, and so this is where our largest operation is. And now we've recently opened up offices in Woodbury, North Oaks, downtown St. Paul by the Tria Center, and out in Wayzata.
And then in terms of employees, what kind of coverage do you have from that respect?
I think we're up to 17 employees right now. We're still looking to grow. We're trying to hire a couple of really experienced teams to help engage with clients going forward.
You guys have been very engaged in the community throughout with lots of initiatives, which has also created some great networking opportunities for those involved. And you've had a lot of things from which to be proud of. Can you touch on some of those things that you as an organization have done?
Well, obviously it starts, we just take care of people. We deliver everything from high net worth strategies all the way to starting people from our 401ks that we work with, just with basic estate planning stuff. So we're really proud with that. We do lead with a comprehensive planning. We try not to turn over all the rocks. We realize every person's has a different set of circumstances, net worth, health issues, you name it. But we try to create a private family office for people who don't have private family offices and help them with all the investment advice that we can give them.
Well, it basically answered my next question of why are you unique, and I'm sure that's pretty much the key thing, right?
Yeah. I'd say, most people hire us. When we're managing assets for people, we're normally managing all the assets that are be able to be managed, and just take their unique set of circumstances and build it to the plan that makes sense for each client we deal with.
We have tons of people out there that watch these games for real, and they all have needs, and I'm sure they're going to want to be able to get a hold of you and your team somehow. I would highly recommend that. What's the best way to reach out to get a hold of you and your team here?
I'd say just call my number. I'd be glad to talk to you and get you in touch with the right person from the right office. My direct line is 952-563-6504.
Chad, thanks a lot. Let's get back at it. Some more hockey action coming up.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
The difference maker is just the personal interest level we take, where it's just more than a job. We really feel, passion for serving the clients and really taking care of them. I think the loan officer group we have, it's not about the money, it's about the satisfaction when you're sitting at the closing table with the clients and you've done a good job for them and they're happy, and you see the joy that you bring their families. Helping be a guide for someone when they're going through what quite typically is the largest single investment someone's going to make in their life, their home. for that trust they place in us. It's really satisfying to be able to provide that service. And I think that there's a little bit of a oversimplification of what the mortgage process is really all about, and certainly the ability to close a transaction quickly and with the least amount of brain damage involved, I can appreciate, but there's a tremendous amount of thought that needs to go into the selection of the product itself, and then to be able to sit down with a experienced professional is extremely important to make sure you're making the right choice. And once we've come to that conclusion that this does make sense and the customer does want to move forward, certainly being able to fast track it and use all the technology available to get to the closing table as fast and as efficiently as possible.
2 more goals were scored there in the second period. 3-1 Eden Prairie. Our very own Matt Harrington will cue up the tallies and the markers for you. One of them may be a leader on the leaderboard, or, it's kind of got top billing for the Chick-fil-A play of the game. We'll see what happens.
The Chick-fil-A play of the game.
We'll see. We got a full third period here. But
all right, and that's Drew Holt that just used John Middlestad as a decoy, so to speak. Saw Steve's coming in late, and sometimes they're the most dangerous player. Steve doesn't need a second opportunity. He made the first one count, blocker side under the bar.
I like that goal right there by Kettle as 9th of the season. Went down to one knee, buried. No self-check.
Nope.
Act like he'd been there.
And he
Love it.
He's been there before.
I got to give these guys credit. This generation of players has totally toned down the sellies. It got so obnoxious.
More than obnoxious.
It
just made it so much about them.
Remember that? Oh, God. When you plan it, it's no good.
Right.
Brett Hull never even raised a stick.
Well, he got tired because he scored so many times, right?
Act like you better. Oh, here he comes, Galatz. He's got Busby off the bench. Caught the Eagles on a change. They'll lay this one up on the stick of Anderson. Knocked away from the oncoming Baker. Back into the corner goes. Kettle is there, the lone goal scorer here for the Jacks. Fights through the stick. Oh, and Langfels is going to get the hook.
Yeah, he got his hand under Kettle, under his arm, I think, and really ripped his glove off, too. Pete, there's some wet spots on the near side of the ice, too, that might be a point of concern, but now it's going to be really what this Lumberjack team needed early in this third period, down by 2. Now they're in the power play. They got their big boppers out there.
Looking like Braemar Arena.
And it's Brigande and Luloff, the forward group for Eden Prairie. Good penalty killers, but a lot of skill on the Cloquet side, so Eden Prairie's going to have to pick up their teammate and get through this kill.
You didn't catch that shot of the wet spot.
I didn't.
Back into the corner goes. We'll see that tomorrow night with Lakeville Salvidana. Off the corner they go. Shallow angle. Look out. Moore with the bid. Andrews has been firm in goal.
Yeah, he held onto that post quite well.
Bergandy comes out of the zone with it as he races through. So the Eagles have 2 goaltenders they can go to. They've proven that.
It's a nice luxury to have.
Rosenlund 6-1-1 of the season, and Andrews 3-1. Outlet to the left wing side. Moore finds Kettle across the line. He'll gain it with control. That's deflected high in the air. Off the glass as Busby waits for that to trickle back onto his stick. He's going to carry. Picks up the speed. He has some real estate. Now he let a shot go that misses the mark, and now Kettle says thank you very much. Oh, and it rolled off his stick. He had numbers. He could have gotten that under control.
You really have to pay special attention, at least get that shot on goal. When you ring it around the wall, it's an odd man rush the other way. Great effort to get that shot, but you have to pay particular attention to get it on goal.
Crane to the right wing side. Finla ahead to Moore. That's on the stick of Luke Middlestad. Crane again. Moore. It's off the stick of Galatz. He comes together with Middlestad. They both say, how's it going tonight? Where are you getting your soda?
Trying to listen to the song.
Back in behind the net.
That might not have made sense to a lot of people, but well, it's just part of the same movie.
Play back in. If you don't get it, that makes it even funnier.
Okay. I look kind of stupid, but I'm used to that.
No. Luke Middlestad plays that one ring wide back in behind the net.
15 seconds left on the penalty to Langfels.
Long pass across the line. Timon, Busby. Check on the Dushkin. Ooh, that towed the line off the side of the net. We're full strength now. As out of the box comes Jorgensen. Johnson now across the line. Johnson slides that one in, goes up over the top of the goal.
Boy, everybody is so worried about Jorgensen. They gave Johnson all the room in the world. And here's Jorgensen.
Busby with it.
Inspired.
Nice on the back check.
Ooh, he lost his glove.
Luloff feeds it over to him.
Got an apple on that one.
The feed of the assist on the glove. Bergandy with it. Loses the handle. That's blocked on the way through. Luke Middlestad behind the net. Protects the puck. Looks back up. Plays rink wide for Luloff. Too far. He comes away with it. Turns away from traffic. Luloff feeds that one back down. Shepard blocked on the play.
I like the fact that Shepard walked it out, put a backhand on. Both point men were covered, and he put it toward the goal, which is a good play.
Lang fouls now. In on goal. That's handled by Carlson.
Boy, that was a heavy shot.
That took him a little handcuff action there. Went straight Barney Fife. That one's rung around the boards and whistled down.
Well, it looks like we're going to get a roughing penalty, I think, Pete Wagner, and it looks like it's going to be on Cloquet. Really not a good time to take a penalty. It looks like it's going to be Brockhouse, the junior forward. It was outside the play, outside the zone, so really a penalty that you don't want to take if you're Shea Walters, the coach of this Cloquet-Esko-Carlton. He puts you in kind of a tough spot to kill off a penalty. Just 12:32 left, down by 2. Now they have to kill off a penalty, but a challenge that this team is going to have to get through.
Face off wrong hard around. Luke Middlestead lost the handle. Look out. Galatz across the line with Moore. He has it set up. Moore. Oh, what a defense. Scores! I was about to say what a defensive play by John Middlestead, but staying with the puck was Galatz. It's now a shorty and 3-2 Eagles.
Well, wow. and they've scored the last 2 goals now, Pete, so now we're 3-2, 1 goal, but a shorty for Galatz, and that's number 20. Nice level for that young man, and I'm sure there's many more to go. But it was just caught an edge at the blue line, and Eden Prairie defender, and then they came back with numbers. And a really good effort by Johnny Middlestead to come back and try to stop that effort. But basically, when he dove out to interrupt that, to put it right on Galatz's stick, and he made no mistake about it. So 3-2 now, 12:21 left in the third period, 1:49 left in the penalty to House. So Eden Prairie still has plenty of time to answer on the power play.
You called it on the last goal that was scored by the Jacks. They needed to respond. Now we'll see if the Eagles can't do that. Back the other way on the power play. This is becoming a thriller here in the third period, a 1-goal affair. Johnson up ice to the left wing side as he's going to carry this one deep and behind, puts on the brakes. Johnson gives up for Holt. Holt now will find Langenbrunner. Slapper, read neatly, and handled by Carlson.
Well, I didn't mind that shot at all. He didn't take the big windup, but it was a good low shot, and it was more that was closing pretty quick, but it seemed to find its way to the goaltender Carlson. But he held on to it because there's plenty of support down low. Just 1:26 left in the penalty to House. But that's a pretty good pushback right there, showing that they're pretty serious about this power play. If they can kill this off, that has to give Cloquet a little bit of energy moving forward as well.
Well, you're a +1 then in that case if
Indeed.
They do. Langenbrunner now for Holt, walks and shoots. That's up off the glass, deflected on its way through. Langfels will bump the boards behind for Brown, who's checked on the play by Crane. And they'll try to kick this one through. Crane gets it and rings it around to an open wing, and all the way into center it goes. Langenbrunner will regroup in his own zone as he handles the puck and looks back over to the right side. Here he goes as he races away from the stick of Dushkin and gains the line. Carries this one back behind, protects, looks out front. There's a shot. Save made by Carlson. Came out. Brown hit by the much smaller Logan Dushkin, and down he goes, but possession up high. Shot made by Langenbrunner, held onto by Carlson as he uses the big catch glove to hang on to that one.
Well, pretty gutsy play by Dushkin on that one against Langenbrunner, but it was a good shot on goal once again. But again, it was Carlson that made a nice save, and then the rebound came out, and it just seemed to roll right into his glove, so that worked out pretty well. Just 37 seconds left in House's penalty for Cloquet.
Yeah, kind of took a nice little turn of events for Carlson there. There's Luke Middlestead now. John Middlestead walks and shoots. That's off Shepard in front. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestead as he walks from left to right, gives off for Busby. Takes it low, back up high to Luke Middlestead, back to Busby on the move. Didn't like what he saw. There's a shot. Huge stick flex there by Luke Middlestead. If you get that on replay, slow that down. That was impressive. I thought he was going to snap that twig right in half.
Yeah, he had some torque on that one. And Shepard in front of the net kind of taking some punishment, just trying to screen the goaltender and interrupt his sight lines. As you can see, he's paying a little bit of a price, but it was a pretty good shot on goal.
Show me that flex, Matt. Let's see how good we are. Okay, we can. We're back on the way. Back at center goes. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Now it's Luke Middlestead with it as they play this one in front of the slot area. That one through the goal mouth area as the Jacks are at full strength. Here comes Steve through center. Over to the right wing side for Luke Middlestead as he guides that back in behind. Finola is there. You look at the terrain of the 7AA. Andover obviously is looking to be the clear-cut favorite there. But this team's going to be problematic for a lot of clubs.
I don't disagree with that at all.
They look like a playoff caliber addition to me. check the box. You shepherd the bomb. You've got the goaltending, special teams, check.
Well, and they were down by 3 in Eden Prairie Community Center. Now they've cut it to 1.
20-goal scorer. There's one that's wide of the mark. Off the boards. Baker is there. Back up to the line. Quick shot that's blocked by John Middlestead to the corner. You know, when you start getting a team doubting like they are right now, you can seize control.
Right, they start taking themselves out of their own game.
One thing about the Eagles, look at that move. That was a dangle.
Nice job.
That might be the Chick-fil-A play in the game. we got a whole bevy. We're going to have a selection committee here. Back and across the line they go with Timon. I guess if it's going to be a play of the game, you got to get something out of it, right? So that one's been scratched. Looked impressive, though. Jorgensen across the line. One thing about the Eagles is they've not stopped skating, they've not stopped working, and they continue to allow the puck to work for them. Very confident in their game.
Yeah, they don't deviate too much from the plan, and that's what really makes a model for success.
Stansberry to Luloff, his shot off the glass. All the way up to the left wing side. Cedar was there to play to center. Now Stansberry comes away with it, guides it off the boards. Ahead it goes on the stick for Duran. Forehand, that's blocked off Stansberry as he's going to be ridden into the corner. Cedar is there on the forecheck. Here's a quick shot by Crane that was blocked off Luloff. And now it's going to be Brown. It was the Jacks' turn to have some offensive zone time. They're going to regroup and play this to center. On the tape now for Cedar across the big center Eagle. They'll play this near side for Langfelds for Shepard. He has Jorgensen with him. Shepard shot and a glove save. That's going to be hung on to by Carlson with the faceoff coming up to his right.
Well, Caden Crane, the defenseman for Cloquet, did a nice job of really forcing Shepard to the outside. Didn't give him any chance to cut back, so he opted to take that shot about 3 feet off, right in the glove hand, kind of toward the body, so that might have been a little bit of a challenge for Owen Carlson, but he's faced a lot of challenges tonight and persevered, but any shot on goal at this juncture is a pretty good shot, really.
Back at center ice they go. That pass for Ketela came over from Galatz. Now it's off Luke Middlestead, gathers in neatly. Back in behind the net, Holt's pass was deflected. Nice positional play there by Galatz to force the turnover at center for Finola. Now it's going to be across the line. He gets it back. There's a wrister that misses the mark. Oh, a quick shot. Galatz wanted to send that one right back into the goal mouth area. And now he gets it back. It's glued to his stick here in this third period. Ketela checked on the play. Luke Middlestead with a physical presence here tonight. Simplified the game, looks good. Steves across the line in front. Oh, what a save. Rebound. Oh, and that hit a man on the way in at Finola. Oh, my word.
And Carlson was vulnerable, too, so nice play by the defenseman.
Langenbrunner plays that one back through, and Carlson again making big saves when needed here and getting some help by some trolling defenders in front of open nets that just happened to hit.
This is good stuff, man.
This is really good. I might put this on our short list of one of the best games we've seen all year.
Well, it's just the contention. I mean, Eden Prairie their muscles in that first period, scored a couple, and then scored the third one. And then it's Cloquet-Esko-Carlton to come back and got the last two.
Ooh, that was a good save.
Yeah, and then the follow-up, too, how that stayed out of the net. But that's credit to the defenseman for being in the right,
there.
For
Hit
being
him
in
right
the right
on
spot.
The back of the leg.
Absolutely. It won't show up in the box score, but the boys in the locker room know what you did.
Yeah, you don't think for a second that doesn't show up on the box score, but Shea Walters is saying beautiful. Now it's going to be the Eagles with it. Langenbrunner plays that in deep behind the net. Brown is there. Clock now to 6:50. 1-goal contest here. Look out. Oh.
Camera guy.
He's got it in front of the globe, though. It's always going to protect him, so he's going to risk the $10,000 lens
right
for the mush.
So I do want to make a mention of Langenbrunner of the Eden Prairie Eagles. A lot of times when you play against your former team, you tend to try to do too much, get outside your game. He's been very poised and confident. You can tell he's inspired and motivated, but he hasn't tried to do too much, and I think that's a note to mention.
Of course, you're referring to photographer Rick Olson of the Eden Prairie Eagles. Takes some of the better shots you're going to find around town. Brown reaches back, comes away with that.
Oh my word. That was house.
He took Brown to the house. That one sent in. Timon. Back in behind the net. Casey with it. He's flushed. Luloff off his stick. Look out. Oh, nice job at the line. Beautiful play. Dushkin, yours truly loved it. Shepard with a wrister. Save made by Carlson. Luloff back in behind the net. Protects, plays up to the line. There's a wrister that's bumped off the end boards, knocked to the near boards. Now it's Ketela with it as he's checked by Pergandy. Back into the corner, he fights this one off. Bothered by Crane. 2-on-2 battle from the boards. Pergandy tried to fish that one. Now Jorgensen, nice job to work himself away from Moore. Sticks just slapping everywhere.
Sounds like a fencing match.
Well, it does, and this is competed for. Back up through center. Finnell has had a nice game. In front of the bench area it goes. Glove down, look out. Galatz is dangerous. Cross line. Got to watch him. A glove save and a beauty. Whoa, mark the tape there. That was a good one.
He's got a bit of a release like Biondi from Hermantown. That was very quick. Top of the left circle. He let that one go, but it was Andrews that made a really nice glove save at a big time for his team. 5:26 to go, so time is of the essence for Cloquet, but what a big save that was.
Maybe Galatz heard me say that I thought the best shot in the MSHSL belonged to Steve. He said, I'll show you.
Yeah, and he did.
You clown. Back in behind the net, the junior, quite the player. Back up to the line it goes. Now it's Baker with it. His shot's fanned on John Middlestad. Here comes Steves. He's dangerous. He can create. Middlestad gets up in the play. Steves holds. Shot. That one does not get through. That was blocked by the defense. I believe that was Cedar.
That was a big play by Cedar on that one. Otherwise, that would have been a goal. Nice job by Holt to have the patience to get it to Middlestad where he wanted to.
Duran gets that one through. Luke Middlestad battles that one off the boards. Back at center, here they go with it. Baker gets that one ahead for Duran. Duran tried to find the slot area as there was Andrews to make the save. Let's take a look at this one. This is the Steve setup that was awfully close to John Middlestad and did not find its way to the back.
Yeah, he drew around and then went back out in front, but it's the back pressure really that kind of stopped that one.
Cedar.
And I think you said it was Cedar, but that's a really nice play because he had to come and chase that play down to make a nice play on defense. So well done, young man. 4:45, time is of the essence. But Cloquet's got to get something going, Pete.
The heart and character in this game has been awesome. Really impressed. Busby off the boards, chopped, played down by Busby, cleared away by Moore. Busby wraps him up as Moore will try to keep moving the feet to get the puck deep, but the Eagles will peel this one out with Steves. Here comes Steves. He's got Langenbrenner up in the play. Trying to leave that one off for John Middlestad, but off the boards hard it goes and sent right back in. That one by Holt. There'll be a big carom to the near boards, and that's going to be bumped by Finnell off into the center ice area. Moore plays that rink wide. Galatz finds it. Oh, nice move around Langenbrenner. He'll get through one, but maybe not two, as Luloff was there. Set to the goal mouth area. Langenbrenner protects and plays the center. The big frame back in across the line. Shepard hard to the net. Langenbrenner's shot as he kind of lulled everybody to sleep, but everybody but Carlson, who they opened up a shooting lane, and he saw it all the way to the glove.
Well, he's the important one, but it was Shepard and Lulov that actually made their way toward the net, tried to ring the defenseman off the blue line, so Langenbrenner cut to the middle and let a good wrist shot go, but once again, Carlson makes another big save.
3:52 remaining here in the third period. 1-goal game between the Lumberjacks of Cloquet-Esko-Carlton and Eden Prairie Eagles. Back at center, it's going to be House with it. Looks to the slot area. Good positioning there by Johnson. Tyler Johnson, the center iceman, back up ice with speed through center. He's going to keep it wide as they force him back to a tough option there. All he can do is get it in and on goal. Not a bad play there. Get the face off of the offensive zone.
No, I like that play a lot. He didn't have any options, so he just rolled up his sleeves and got to work. Came through the neutral zone with some good speed, but again forced the outside, so good angles. As far as defense by the Lumberjacks, put a pretty innocent shot on goal, but nonetheless, as you said, a shot on goal offensive zone faceoff, so nice job by Tyler Johnson.
Any way you want it, Journey. What's the first thing you think of when you hear this song?
I don't know.
Rodney Dangerfield dancing on the golf course with the big bag.
Yeah.
With his eyes bugging out.
He's quite the dancer, too.
Yeah.
If I'm on the floor, I'm going to hang out with him because it'll make me look good.
Best movie ever. Back in behind the net, played back through. Someone was not happy in the crowd here, voicing their displeasure. Back up through center ice. Now it's going to be Duran. Left wing side they go with it. That's played back through by Cedar. Duran comes away with it, tries to cycle for Cedar. Pergandy makes a nice read there. Durand is there again. This line's been effective here in the third. There's a shot that goes through. And it's going to be rung back up to the near boards for Anderson. Shot and a redirect. Oh, Andrews with a big save there. That'll be an icing call with 2:43 to go. Eagles have to earn this one, Bart Archer.
Well, the Lumberjacks are taking better angles on the forecheck. What used to be an easy zone exit for Eden Prairie the first period and a half to 2 periods now has become contested, and they're having difficulty getting out of the zone with any speed, but it's a credit to what the Lumberjacks are doing. They're not done yet, but 2:43, so time is a huge issue right now for the Lumberjacks.
Middlestad with it. They'll play this one to the near boards for Steves. He's checked. Stepping up is Finola across center. In hard and around, purposeful on the dump in. But the Eagles, Langfells was there to make the play. Stays on it, gets it ahead to John Middlestad. Now it's Steves through center. 3-on-2 across the line. Steves tried to set up the shot through the legs of Crane, but it hit his inside and went to the corner. Langfells now. Rink wide, Luke Middlestat, wrister, deflected. Ooh, that nearly found its way through. That was Steves with the redirect.
It was a good idea.
4 to go in the third. Now it's Galatz across the line. Oh, trailer! Ketela with a shot, and Andrews the save. He's been rock solid here tonight for the Eagles when they need him.
Well, indeed, and Ketela has already got one tally on the board. Nice redirect from the left hash. But once again, Eli Andrews comes over side to side and picks his team up in a kind of a trying moment. We'll keep an eye on Owen Carlson, the senior goaltender for the Lumberjacks, see when he might come off the ice, but it's all about possession. Looks like the level
of confidence the Eagles have shown here, or the Jacks have shown here in the third period. The game's just getting better and better in the defensive zone and then through transition.
Boy, that was like a timeout and a half. It just they took so long to between the whistle and dropping the puck, and so Shea Walter's going to get all his money's worth on this timeout, but he knows the situation. His team knows the situation. You can't try to do too much. You can't force the play. Just let things happen somewhat organically. But Eden Prairie just has to chip the puck out of the zone. If they get an opportunity, they're going to take it, obviously. But we'll keep an eye on Owen Carlson, the goaltender for the Jacks. I'm thinking probably around the 115, 120 mark. He might make his way, but it's all about possession from this point forward.
Well, whatever you do is I cannot stand pulling the goalie off the faceoff, even though it's in the other end. Mm-hmm. Possession is tantamount. All you got to do is chip the glass.
Yeah.
So you've got a 50-50. You better love your center iceman if you pull the goalie right now. Now, they do it in the NHL all the time. I'm like, man, you better love. He's got the best center iceman are 57, 56% faceoff. Come on. Holy smokes.
Even if you have Patrice Bergeron, it's still a point of concern.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so if you get that draw, chip the glass, you get a guy flying, and you just knock it in.
But if I were Carlson, about the minute and a half mark, which is about 27 seconds, maybe get out around the dots or just past the hash mark so you don't have too far to go. But again, that's where it kind of becomes interesting, is you have to make the right decision at the right time, and hopefully things will work. But an offensive zone faceoff for this Cloquet team is what they need right now. Now they just need to win it, and they got their big boppers out there. So Coach Walter certainly understands the situation at hand.
Quick faceoff win by the Jacks as it's Steves, though, across the line and plays that in deep. So my case in point, had the net been empty, that could have been the end of the game. I rest my case. Puck is played back up high. John Middlestad, the snapper, hard off the glass. And here they come back out of the zone. We'll keep our eye on Carlson. Ketela plays that one deep. There goes Carlson. They wanted to get it deep back in behind. There's a possible turnover. That's off Moore. Now Steves has got it. He's going to chip the glass, and Holt can erase it. Can he get there in time? No, he can't. Icing the call.
If there's anybody in Minnesota high school hockey that can track that one down, it'd be Holt for sure.
Be him.
But he didn't miss that one by much. But now 1:22 left, and Coach Walter's taking this opportunity to talk to his team. These referees can't allow this to happen. I'm sorry. It's just, and I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong. You do what you can to get away with it. So really good play by the Cloquet coach to get the final instructions.
In that instance, the center iceman should be tossed right here. I mean, if that's the case.
I don't disagree with that. But it's a good play if you can get away with it. 6-on-5.
More of the draw. Possession tantamount. This one's played off the right wing side. Langenbrunner plays that through, but that's played down by Finola to the corner.
Oh, they got numbers.
There's Galatz back in behind. Now Holt comes away with it. He's going to try and chip that high, but that hits a Jack player. That's Crane down low. Oh, it's fanned on. They finally come away with it. Here comes Steves back up through center ice across the line as he races away. He doesn't miss here. Oh, he might. Oh, as that one's turned over. Oh, and what a play there. Look out. Now to the right wing side they go across the line. There's Dushkin with it. Two players come together, and there's a penalty coming up. They're taking Steve's, I think, but the possession was
6 white as a hook, 4 dark as a hold.
Okay, so it's cool. But those are two pretty big boppers. Kettle has really done a nice job tonight, bringing some physical presence. He's put the puck in the net.
Board.
Nothing on the board, so we're going to finish 47.1. They're going to spend the time in the box. But that's a better trade-off for Eden Prairie because they don't need goals where Steve really comes into play. His speed is going to be missed, but Kettle really brings a dynamic that I don't know who they're going to supplant him with. But
Cedar came out, who's had a great third period.
It's not a bad choice by Coach Walters.
Now, do you leave Carlson off here, or do you put him on and get possession?
47.1. Boy, that's a
so
good
Shea
question.
Walters is saying the puck was in the zone when it was whistled out, and the officials are saying no, it happened in the neutral zone. It's a fair argument.
No, absolutely.
Should be down low, I believe, but I'm not an official. Anderson's shot misses the mark. Holt is there. He's chopped on the play. Kept in at the line, pushed down the boards. Look out, here's Moore. He's got a man in front. There's a save made. Oh, they jump on their man in front. Moore says, I don't like it. Let's go.
Well, you don't like to see games end like this, especially a game that's been contested like this one. I don't think anything's going to come of it, but emotions are running a little bit amok, and it was Luke Middlestead, he's not an easy bear to anger, and he was a little irritated as the linesman who's got some strength is bringing him right to the penalty box. Maybe a little aggressive, but I didn't like the way that the posture was for the Eden Prairie Eagles defense there. They activated like they were going to go up in transition when they needed all the resources and the manpower back to defend, so it was numbers for Cloquet. So I think Eden Prairie dodged a bit of a bullet.
Jacks have been amazing on the pinch on the boards here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right when you think they've got it, it's they've got one or two bodies there that are creating all sorts of trouble.
Well, and then it looks like it's just Middlestead in the box, so now it could be 6-on-4. But Eden Prairie still with 5 skaters on the ice.
We had 7 dark for a slash and 27 white for a rough.
Well, 7 dark is still on the ice.
So Galatz doesn't know he's going.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he's going to be a little disappointed because he's kind of the focused player right now for this Cloquet team. They have other players that can score, but he's got 20 on the board this year so far, so obviously things kind of go through him.
So Steves is off, and now Kettle is going to go. Or check that, Galatz is going to go.
Yep.
They're coming over to tell him right now. He's like, what are you talking about? Really? But they made no doubt about that. They knew right away what they were doing when they had their discussion.
Nothing on the board.
Nothing on the board again, as we know.
Nothing
Face
goes
off
on the
inside
board.
the zone.
I think I'm really going to compliment the referees for the way they're handling this final couple minutes, bringing them both
really
off.
Good.
I think it's the appropriate thing to do. Sometimes you don't see it, but tonight we are. They've done a great job tonight, but it's still going to be a good opportunity for this Cloquet team. And Carlson's still out of the goal, but he's kind of straddling the boards right now, so they're probably thinking about it.
Here's my thing. In a game like this, you've got 2 really good players, 27 and 7.
Yep.
They both go off. It's a wash. You just
and same with Steves and Kettle.
Yeah, to me, it didn't impact the play, but who am I to say? I'd like to see those players out on the ice right now.
Well, true, but again, I've been
because
preaching.
The point is it's a wash on the penalty, and so what's the difference?
Well, my thing is, and I've hearkened this many times this year. A penalty's a penalty, regardless of the time and the situation. So if they create an infraction, they spend time in the box. But I understand you want your full complement of players available for you.
Big win there by the Jacks. Quick one-timer Fandon nearly found its way through. Not out of the zone. They keep it alive. Oh, and it's finally played to center with 24 seconds to go. Now it's John Middlestead as he's hooked up on the play. They'll try to turn it to the near boards with Anderson. That goes through everyone. That's off an Eagle stick, but they're going to say icing.
Oh.
I think that dribbled off an Eagle stick.
I don't think I disagree with you on that one either, Pete. But look at the effort on John Middlestead on that play. He just gave everything he had to try to get through that challenge and get an open shot. But again, Cloquet did a nice job of rallying and defending. But now Carlson back in the goal, as you said. And they have too many guys on the ice.
Time to get down the ice, and I'm sure if they get possession, we'll see Carlson race off the ice with them as they go up, and they do get possession. Crane chips to center, held in by Holt. Now it's going to be played back around the boards off the glass. Cedar is there as he plays to center. The Eagles will thwart that back in. And that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. What a hockey game here for Eden Prairie. As the Eagles had to work hard to defeat the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks.
Well, Cloquet sure showed a lot of resiliency on that. They never gave up, and they challenged till the very end. In fact, I think Eden Prairie was under a little duress in the last 5 minutes. So we're going to hear about this Lumberjack team for the remainder of the year. But it's a big win for Eden Prairie. They got challenged tonight, and I think that works for them. Coming off an 8-0 victory, you feel good about it and everything. People are on the score sheet. But this was one that they were contested really from about halfway from the first period. They owned the first part of the first period, but from that point on, it was pretty much a 50-50 game to a certain degree. Eden Prairie probably had a bit of an advantage, but both teams showed up to play tonight. We appreciate their efforts.
Terrific hockey game indeed. Let's get now to the Chick-fil-A Chanhassen play of the game. We'll be tweeting this one out, as I think we're going to go with what we thought was the one, right? Is that going to be the Ben Steeves goal back in the second period?
Well, that's the one from Holt where he was a trailer coming into the zone. So that'd be worthy of being in the conversation for sure. But there's a lot of decent plays to choose from tonight.
Yeah, there are plenty of them, no questions asked. And I can't say enough about this hockey game, though. It was one where the Eagles were really having their way in the first period, and then it was the Jacks that, as you said, went down by 3 and knuckled their way all the way back. Carlson really good in goal. And let's take a look now at the Chick-fil-A Chanhassen play of the game right here.
Well, this is where Holt saw Middlestead run some interference, kind of cleared the areas and got it to Steeves, and that was blocker side just under the bar, so that's a goal scorer's goal right there. A mild celebration. We can give it to him. He earned that one.
I liked that he went to the sweater. Right. Let everybody see it. See, about the Eagles.
Well, it's about the Eagles. There you go. It's not about me. It's about the Eagles.
I'm good with that one. The South checks have been to a minimum. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, great hockey game. We got a big day tomorrow. 3 games with North St. Margaret's girls in action. 4 big games. Edina girls in Minnetonka. We'll have Duluth East and Eden Prairie right here from this very facility. And then we close it out from Braemar Arena, where Lakeville South and Edina will lock horns in what I think is going to be a terrific contest at 7:30 p.m.
I was just going to say Langenbrunner having some how you doings with his former teammates. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
but he played a nice game, played within himself.
Chatting with Durand and Dushkin there.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to do it here. Tonight's coverage presented in part by, of course, Tradition Companies, American Family Insurance, by Lake House Minneapolis, by Itasca Marketing, Chick-fil-A, Red Savoy, and Tria. For Bart Archer, Todd Grover, Matt Harrington, the final score, the Eden Prairie Eagles 3 and the Cloquet-Esko-Carlton Lumberjacks 2. I'm Pete Wagner. Good night, everybody.